Welcome. Welcome to York University Faculty of Education. My name is Vanessa Graffi and I'm here in the Office of Student Services with the Bachelor of Education and the Bachelor of Arts Educational Studies program. This slide or slides that I'm going to be sharing will be speaking about the consecutive two-year BEd program for those interested in joining us for September 2022. The Faculty of Education at York University, we have a number of programs, a few of them at the undergraduate level, and one of those being the Bachelor of Education, the Teaching Certification Program. And we also have a Bachelor of Arts in Educational Studies. Bachelor of Arts is a four-year honors program. It doesn't lead to teaching and one getting their designation with the Ontario College of Teachers, but it does offer students who have an interest in education but outside of the classroom. The Faculty of Education at York University also offers a number of graduate programs of the master's, the PhD, specialized diploma programs and certificates. And we of course offer professional development courses and qualifications for certified teachers who are looking to broaden their experience, their education, and their profession in the school boards. And that is run through the professional development department here at York University Faculty of Education. But over the next half an hour, my slides are going to speak about, again, the consecutive Bachelor of Education program, the two-year, and it's really for students who have a degree or perhaps right now in their last year of finishing their undergraduate program. So our BEd program does lead to a certification to be a recognized teacher here in the Ontario College of Teachers. That is a need if you want to be teaching in the public Catholic funded schools. Our program provides not just courses to prepare you to teach in the school settings, but it offers many hours, in fact, a minimum of 88 days in the school setting. So our candidates are in about 3 different schools, or they're in the classroom settings of the teaching panel that they're wishing to get their certification in. York University, as many of you may know, we're located in Toronto, just on the outskirts here at Keele and Steeles. And so there's a real focus on diversity, inclusivity, a big focus on community too, in our Bachelor of Education program. And you'll hear me speak a little bit about that over the next sort of 20 minutes. So as I mentioned, this session is really about the two-year consecutive BEd program for those who have a degree or will have a degree completed prior to September 2022. We do have a Bachelor of Education for students coming out of high school. This is called the Direct Entry Concurrent Model. We will be running sessions over October and November to high school students that are interested in learning more about the Direct Entry Model. To find those sessions, one should search York University Future Students and then look under events. And we have about 5 or 6 sessions planned, as I said, between October right through till early November for high school students. The consecutive BEd program, it is a start of next September. It has very tight deadlines. And so please note these as you're seeing my slides in this session. So students who are going to be finishing up their degree by next fall, okay, so you may be graduating by fall of 2022, can be eligible still to apply to the consecutive BEd program. Lots of information about the program is located here on our website. So you need to go to yorku.ca, select EDU, and then students, and then search for the consecutive how to apply. We have, again, deadline dates, how to complete the application, what to know, what are the minimum requirements to help you to decide if now is the time for you to apply and join us for September 2022. So my slides, we're going to talk about the program itself. We'll certainly speak about the admission requirements. I'll speak about the different teaching panels that we have, and we offer candidates to be considered from junior kindergarten right up to grade 12. So we pretty much run all the teaching panels. I'll talk about the supplementary information form. So how do you fill out that information? These are the pieces that our committee will be looking at. And then I'll move into the practicum experiences, which is a requirement for the program to become a certified teacher. And then we'll look at the different courses that are available too. So the consecutive program, as I mentioned, is from junior kindergarten right up to grade 12. It is a 2-year, it's a fall, winter program. So it is 2 years starting next September. It is a daytime program. I want everybody to note that this is not an evening program. This is not an online program, nor is it a program that we can run on the weekends. It is a committed program between an 8:30 to 4:30, Monday to Friday. You are looking at taking about 10 full, 20 half courses in the 2 years. They are already set. They are all required courses. So when you are admitted, we help to plan those courses and how to move it into your schedule. As you heard me say, community is a big part of this program too. And not only will you have 3 in-school practicum placements, but you'll also be in a community setting. Community is looking at places like outdoor recreation, maybe the arts, music, homework clubs, after-school programs, lots of choices for our students when they join us in the program to decide what kind of community-based experience they would like to have. Our Bachelor of Education program, we offer in 3 locations here at the York University Kiel campus. We offer at the Catholic Education Center, that is located at Yonge and Sheppard, and students with the Catholic Education Center setting will be part of the Toronto Catholic District School Board in school placements. And then we have it at our other campus. We have our Glendon College campus at Bayview and Lawrence, and there we offer French as a second language Bachelor of Education program. But most of the program, the PJJI and IS, is delivered here at the Kiel campus. So not only can you consider the teaching panel, if I want to be a PJ teacher, a JI teacher, or intermediate senior teacher, but there could be an option for you to think about something beyond that. So we offer the Technological Education Bachelor of Ed program. These are for individuals who have training, they have a skill, they're part of the trade. So maybe you have your red seal, you've been working in that area for 5 or more years. I really encourage the students who are thinking about technological education to please visit our website. It is very specific to one's trade and profession, and it is teaching high school students. So perhaps you've been in the construction profession, maybe you have been in hair aesthetics, culinary arts, maybe in the computers, maybe in the healthcare for many years, and now you're thinking about a different direction and wanting to bring all this experience to high school students. Well, maybe the technological education program could be a good fit for you. It is the same as our regular BED, it is 2 years, fall, winter, fall, winter. And I ask those interested in getting more information to reach out to Teresa Boyle. She's our academic advisor, and she's our lead. She works very closely with our coordinator for the technical education program. So more than welcome to email Teresa Boyle for more information. We also have the Jewish Teacher Education Program. It has a fall start. These are for students who may have grown up in the Hebrew school setting. They are encouraged, or they are actually required, to have a strong Hebrew language base already for the Jewish Teacher Education Program. There are additional courses along with the regular Bachelor of Ed courses they do. And they will have not only classroom experience in the regular public school setting, but they will also have experience in some Hebrew schools too. So more information on that, that would be through Professor Laura Wiseman. And you can start with our office, and I'll be talking about our email a little bit later on. But usually to reach out to Professor Wiseman, we ask that you reach out to us first, and then we'll pass your information over to her. We have the Waban Indigenous Teacher Education Program. This program is offered every 2nd year. It is a May start. So the next session is not until May of 2023. So we've got a bit of time to work with you on that. And these are for students who usually align with Indigenous status. The program runs from summer, fall, winter, summer. So it's a bit faster. And we'll be providing more information next fall of 2022 to get students ready and thinking about joining us for May of 2023. But more than welcome to look at our website here for information on it. French as a second language, that is our other option that we have, and that is through the Glendon College campus. That is our other campus with us here at York University. Now, this is a little bit more specific to students who have already got a degree or finishing their last year of their Glendon Bachelor of Arts, or they are a student from Brescia College. Brescia is located in London, Ontario, affiliated with the University of Western Ontario. And so students who are coming from Brescia College from a French studies background, or our own students from Glendon, BA with a major in French studies, are eligible for the French as a second language option. It too has a fall September start. So how to apply? So students who are thinking about the consecutive BEd program, you actually all start through the Ontario University Application Centre, and you need to visit the TEAS, T-E-A-S application. It is open now, so here it is, the middle of October 2021. The application is open and it will be open until December the 1st. It is a very tight timeline. All of us in Ontario, all the BEd programs at the consecutive had this early deadline date. So please review the TEAS application information. You will also be moving over, when you look at the TEAS application, to the information specifically about York University's minimum requirements and so on. Once students apply, and I'll move those slides over in a moment, once you apply, you'll be brought to our portal called My File, which is where you'll fill out the rest of the information about the why do you want to be considered to the Bachelor of Education program. And just to note, students who are coming from an international education, so outside of Canada, where English is not the official language of that country, you will most likely be required to write an English proficiency test. And we ask that that English proficiency test be received no later than the middle of December. But again, all of this is sitting on the TEAS application. So how does one apply? So you're going to go to the TEAS application. Please do it before December the 1st so you can see all the steps. And you're going to select the blue one, Teacher Education. And then from there, it will guide you into how to create a profile. You have to create your UAC login profile. And then you'll have access to all the Faculty of Education programs in Ontario that are sitting under the TEAS application. Once you get to that point, you'll then be moving closer to filling out the York application. This is just demographic information, so your name and your address, but you will have to indicate which teaching panel you're interested in. If it's primary junior, junior intermediate, intermediate senior, or the technological education program. Again, this needs to be completed prior to December the 1st. After we receive your application here, the Faculty of Education will send out an e-communication sharing your next steps. So that next step will be logging into our portal called My File. And under My File, you'll see your application. You'll see the supplementary form. You'll see the transcripts that are required. Lots of information is sitting on My File, but you'll log in with the York reference number that we give you and your date of birth. Under My File, that's where you're going to see the supplementary information form. And this is sort of the big essay about why do you want to be considered to the Bachelor of Education program here with us at York University. A lot of sort of yes, no kind of questions, some choices, and then you move closer into the types of experience that you have working with kids and adolescents, maybe volunteering, summer jobs, part-time, full-time jobs, jobs that have not even related to teaching, but have made you sort of think about going towards this profession now. You'll also have to provide the names and emails of 2 referees that we will contact. It is sent by email. There's no paper references. And then they will be contacted to complete a form. They complete that form and then they send it back to our office. It comes right back into your record. The supplementary information form, that SIF, is due December the 18th, so there is time. This is not a race. It's not like it has to be done tomorrow, but we do need to have it completed by the 18th. And the other part of my file is that you'll need to make sure that your transcripts have been received so our team can do the grade point average review on it. So here's a few sort of Q&As to help you with the minimum requirements. So for admissions, the minimum grade point average is a B. We are looking for a B average, which is about a 73%, and it's based on the last 2 years of full-time studies or equivalent to your last 10 full courses or maybe your 20 half courses. It will vary depending on the way that their courses were offered at your institution, your university studies. We take the most recent and we go backwards, okay? What was the admission average last year? It was a B average for this incoming class of September 2021. How were the marks weighed with the types of experience? So it is a 50-50. So students need to meet that minimum B average. And by meeting that minimum B, that will then take their file for committee review, which happens in the new year, usually around the end of January to February. And then the other 50 will be based on the supplementary information form that you filled out on my file by the admissions committee. So again, it's a 50-50. Is there a preference to a 4-year versus a 3-year degree? So many of you know there are still 3-year degrees available out there. There is no preference. You can come in with an honors 4-year or come in with a 3-year general. That's sometimes how it's called. But if you want to become a high school teacher, intermediate, senior, you do require a 4-year honors degree or equivalent, okay? Does a master's degree sort of give you an extra edge, an opportunity of being admitted? No. I mean, we certainly would like to see your master's transcript. Sometimes courses in a master's can meet a teachable for high school, but we do not usually weigh in your grades of your master's towards the admissions GPA. It's based on your undergraduate studies. At what point does your degree need to be completed? Good question. We get this a lot. Some students are now having to finish their studies over the summer to get their degree in a fall session. So if you have your degree conferred by October of 2022, that will still meet the minimum requirements to be considered for the September start of 2022. But you need to have your degree conferred no later than the fall of that time. When do students get admitted? They will find out on March the 1st. That is the date that we release our decisions. We get a lot of applications. We get over 2,200 applications, and we are looking at approximately 250, maybe 300 students for September 2022. So we have a lot of files to move along with to get ready for our admissions committee to review in the new year. So our date is March the 1st. Is there special admissions policies? We have an access initiative, and the access initiative is an opportunity for students to maybe identify, maybe they've had a learning disability, physical disability, maybe their preference in who they are and how they define themselves. But we do encourage students who feel that they align with the access initiative, and that is actually in the supplementary information form that you're going to be filling out. You can say yes or no. If you do align to it, we ask you to speak to it, because that could be part of a way to bring you into the program and keep to note that the way that you've studied, the way that you have sort of engaged in the classroom with other peers, with your teachers, you'll be a great support for our own students in the school setting. So this one speaks about what do we offer. Again, I've mentioned we offer from kindergarten right up to grade 6. So when you're filling out the TEAS application, you can only identify one teaching certification. You can't apply to 2. So you have a choice of primary, junior, and that is junior kindergarten to grade 6. Please note there are no specific courses required in your undergraduate degree that we have to see. You just need to have an undergraduate degree and have done well in your undergraduate degree. Junior intermediate, that is from grade 4 to grade 10. You are going to need to demonstrate a teaching subject, and I'm going to move on to that in a moment. Intermediate senior is from grade 7 to grade 12, so the high school level. And for that, you're going to need to identify 2 teaching panels. And then we have technological education, which is from grade 9 to grade 12. And I spoke about that a bit earlier. It is usually for people who are coming out from the trades area and have all that experience that they can bring to the classroom. So how many courses are required for your teachable subjects? So let's start with junior intermediate. So for JI, when we are looking at your transcript, we need to ensure that you've got at least 4 full year or 8 half-year courses or equivalent and a teaching subject. So teaching subject, and it's listed on our website, can be English, math, geography, general science, physical education, music, French. So you need to show in your transcript that you have courses that can demonstrate that you have a knowledge of that teaching subject area. What about for high school? It's a little bit tighter. You're going to now need to show us more courses in your transcript that you've got an understanding of 2 teachable subjects. So those would be, let's say first one is English and your second one is math. All right, then let's see your transcript. Can you show us all those English courses and can you show us some of those math? So you need to show you have 6 full year or equivalent, okay, 12 half year courses. Actually, that's more than that, in your first teachable, okay, and that you need to show that you have at least 3 full year or 6 half-year courses in your second teachable, okay. What is a teachable GPA? It's a B as well. We will look for your highest. So let's say you did an English major and you've got a lot more than what we need. We'll look at your highest grades on those English courses and hopes to get you to that B for your teachables, okay? Now, all this is sitting on the Teacher Education Application Services information booklet. So please have a little look at the booklet from York University. It tells you the teachable requirements. If you're still a bit puzzled, then you can email our office at osp@edu.yorku.ca. So I'm going to give you an example of what a teachable could be. So you want to become a high school teacher. If you have a history degree, I'm sure you're good. You've got it all for us. You've got the minimum requirements, history courses that we need. For example, Canadian history, okay? What if you don't have a degree in history? So here's another example. You have a degree in anthropology. What could that align with? Because anthropology is not a traditional teaching subject at the high schools. Well, anthropology could fall under social science general. Social science general is a pretty common teachable that we get from students. We are probably becoming a little bit more selective because we get so many social science general teacher requests, but that does fall under anthropology, humanities, psychology, the social sciences, sometimes through social work, gender studies, they can fall under social science general. Another example is you could have done a degree in anthropology, but while you did your anthro major, you did courses in English as well. And so that could be English as a teacher. So again, we look at the courses within your degree to see if you're meeting the teachable requirements. How do we review the files? Well, it's an admissions review, okay? As I mentioned earlier, we do the grade point average of a B. We're pulling out your courses, your overall GPA of your last 2 years. And then if you've met that minimum requirement for your teachables and your overall, then your file goes for committee review. The committee are really looking at that supplementary form that you have filled out on my file. The one that I mentioned has a deadline of December the 18th. And it's a holistic process, as it says here. So they're looking at the touch points that you have brought into your supplementary form that talk about why you're looking to become a teacher, what sort of experiences you have volunteering, working, mentoring other people, students, adolescents. What are the things that you're hoping to learn? What are you wanting to gain from this program? So you know that when you're really in the classroom and working in the school system, that you're going to be able to sort of provide what's needed and rethink the way that you provide your classes each day. A lot of changes happen as a teacher day to day. So committee looks at a number of sort of guiding questions that they have when they're looking at your supplementary form and what you've shared with them. In that supplementary form, this is what you'll be sharing with us. So you're going to share the number of hours that you have maybe in a classroom. outside of a classroom, work experience with the age group that you're hoping to teach, work experience outside of that age group, and the types of volunteer experiences you have. So in this column that you'll be given when you apply and you're in your My File supplementary form, you're just going to be adding the hours of the types of experiences that you have. Then it moves into share what were those experiences. So you can share 2, 3, 4, 5, as many experiences as you have, but you're limited to a certain number of character spaces. I think it's up to 8,000 characters. So you'll talk a little bit about the kinds of experiences you've had working, volunteering, mentoring, and so on. Then you move into what's called a personal statement. And in the personal statement, the way that students do is they go back to their experiences that they have, and they move that from their own personal experiences to what they're hoping to achieve into a classroom eventually. What kind of practices can you bring? What are you hoping to learn? And certainly if you've identified yourself as an Access candidate, do talk about that in your personal statement. The 2 referees I mentioned, they sit on My File. You'll put in their name and their email, and then they'll be sent an email with the questions. They fill it out and then they send it back to us. All of this, the experience profile and references, is due on December the 18th. Access, I'll come back to this again. This is the Access initiative that we have. This also sits on the supplementary form for students to identify if it's a yes or no, if they align to it. And do spend time thinking about this and how you want to provide, sort of how your connection to Access in your personal statement. So moving now into the program itself and what happens over the 2 years, you will be in a practicum. In fact, you'll be in 3 different practicums. That is your in-school placements as a teacher candidate. You'll be with a mentor teacher, which is a certified teacher in the school. You have to do a minimum of 88 days in the 2 years. So typically in the first year of our BED program, you're in the school 1 day of the week, plus you're in a community placement too. Then moving over to your second year, you're in a school placement twice a week in the fall. And then in the winter session, you're in a 6-week block. So through the year 1 and the year 2, it does come up to approximately a minimum of 88 days. It is a requirement that we show to the Ontario College of Teachers when we are nominating our students, because OCT pretty much shares with us what they want to see in our candidates, the types of courses, the program, and how many school days you're required to have. We are located with 6 school boards in the Greater Toronto Area. We have York Region Public Catholic, the Toronto Public Catholic, and Peel Dufferin Public Catholic. Students cannot choose their own school. We have partnerships with the boards who look for the mentor teacher in the school setting for you. When students are applying on that supplementary form, again, the SIF, students will identify where they would like their school to be. It's usually in a zone, so you don't choose the actual school, but you choose sort of a location zone where you live, and that would be the best zone for you. And you share with us if it's going to be in a public school setting or a Catholic school setting. This slide sort of talks about job opportunities. We always get a lot of questions about what about a job? How's this all going to work? Well, you're in a school for 2 years, getting experience. So get to know other teachers, vice principals, principals, be part of the school. Don't just come in for your hours and leave. See if there's ways for you to be connected during the lunch hours, after school, preschool programs. It's a wonderful way to get to know people and for them to remember you too. Here in our faculty, we have a student association, the Faculty of Student Associations, FISA. They run a number of workshops. They get boards to come in, school boards to interview, to meet with our students. We have a career board day. Lots have been running by Zoom over the past 1.5 years, but we're really hoping that come the new year and certainly in the fall when you start with us, that we'll be really back face-to-face with the board representatives, the recruitment officers, we'll call them. The boards reach out to students usually around the end of the winter of students last year to start the interview process and to meet them. And we also have many professional development opportunities in the 2 years of the program that you are required to attend. You'll have your own, instructors that are moving you along to participate in some of these workshops that we have. And I have to say, can you teach abroad? That's a big one we get to. What about if I'm a teaching profession? Can I go and travel and teach in other schools? Yes, a lot of our students do leave Ontario. They leave Canada and they pursue teaching professions for maybe a couple of years. They're contracted. They're contracted in American schools, international baccalaureate schools, the British curriculum. So yes, the Bachelor of Education here in Ontario at York University is very well received abroad. What are some of the courses that I'll be taking in the program? Well, these are the common courses, we call them. Every student, be it primary, junior, intermediate, intermediate, senior, will be taking these courses over the 2 years, along with the practicum down below, EDPR 2000, 3000, and 4000. So every one of our students will be doing these courses in the 2 years. And then you move over to your teachable sort of courses. For primary, junior, these candidates will be doing the language, literacy, mathematics, science, social studies, things that you remember when you were younger, right? Remember these courses that you had to take in the pre-high school days. And then junior intermediate looks almost identical to primary junior, but here you can see that you're going to be working with a slightly older age group. And you also have your teaching subjects. Remember I talked about having a teachable for JI, English or math or history or science. So in your second year, you'll be doing a course in the fall on how to teach English, how to teach math. You're the expert on the content, but our instructors are going to teach you how to bring it into a classroom. And then intermediate senior, doesn't look like they have to do very much, but they do. Those teachable courses, their 2 teachables have a lot more credit weighted to it. And they spend the 2 years working on how to work on their lesson plans at the high school from that grade, usually grade 9 to grade 12, but they also get a certification to be a teachable instructor for the 7 and 8s too. We also have elective courses. These are sort of your free choices in the first year and the second year, and we guide students on how to select those electives. So for primary junior, it's 1 language, 1 math, and they get an open choice. Junior, it's 1 math or a literacy and an open choice. And for high school students, they get their 3 free choices. And altogether, those courses lead up to 2 years, and 60 credits is the program. It really is. It's a full year. I look at our students and think, usually you're in class for about 15 hours a week, traditionally with an undergraduate degree, but with our Bachelor of Education program, because of the in-school placement requirements, which could be 2 to 3 days, you're spending a good 20, sometimes 30 hours working on your courses, your in-school placement, for the BED program. So it is a busy program, and that is why this is delivered in a daytime model, a Monday to Friday, and unfortunately not through an evening or a weekend program. So when students are ready to graduate from our 2-year program, we nominate them to the Ontario College of Teachers. That is our responsibility under the Dean. We look after that. And this is where students will now become official members of the Ontario College of Teachers and have your name posted on their website so the boards can see that you are certified. Through the 2 years, we help students to plan to get ready for their nomination because there are steps that they have to do through OCT prior to us nominating. So I hope that helps. This is a little bit of a start to guide you through the application and what you need to do next. I can't say it enough that the deadline to apply is December the 1st. With a supplementary information form deadline of September the 18th. If you do have questions, you are welcome to email us here at the Office of Student Services with the Faculty of Education at osp@edu.yorku.ca. I want to wish you the best, good luck, and we look forward to meeting you soon. Thank you.